Welcome to our dedication of our very first synthetic turf field here in Frederick County. Before we get started, I'd like to first start us and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if I could ask everyone to please stand and remove your cover. And then we do have a change in the program. I did ask former Alderman Bill Hall is here. Instead of playing the Star Spangled Banner, he's going to sing it. So we'll do the pledge, and then if I can ask Mr. Hall to come forward. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Hall?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's the second time that's happened to me.
And he had all week to practice. Actually, I asked him 3 minutes ago. Pretty good. I'm Blaine Young, President of the Board of County Commissioners. I want to introduce the Board of Commissioners that are here. We have the Vice President of the Board, Paul Smith, Commissioner Billy Shreve, and Commissioner Kirby Delauter. And I have not seen Commissioner David Gray, but I'm sure he's on the way or he sends his regrets. I also want to acknowledge we have Melissa Joseph for Congressman Chris Van Holland. That has, you all have a proclamation also? No? I'm sorry. Juliana Albowitz for Barbara McCoskey. You do have a certificate. So come on up, please. And Chuck, this is presented to you.
Oh, I made it out to the board and, okay.
Can you fix the mic real quick? Sorry. That always happens, you know?
Time out.
Okay.
What a way to
Timeouts
begin.
are okay, yeah. We understand that now after last week.
Testing one.
We ready to go?
Yep.
Thank you, Commissioner Young. It's an honor and a privilege for me to join you tonight. Not only is it your first Astro Field, but it's my first time on one. So I'm very honored to be here. And Mr. Foreman,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to present the senatorial certificate to you on the occasion of the Chuck Foreman Field grand opening in recognition of the Chuck Foreman Field, the first synthetic turf field for Frederick County. Congratulations and best wishes. Signed, Barbara Mikulski, United States Senator, on this the 22nd of September, 2014. And it's an honor for me to stand with you, sir. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. So
seat.
Okay.
All right. I don't think I missed anybody. Like I said, former Alderman Bill Hall was here. You just heard him sing the Star Spangled Banner. We have multiple folks here that work for the county. All the county folks, if you can wave your hands. We got the county manager, got the director of Parks and Recreation. So many, if we can give them all. So, a director of Public Works, Chuck Knight. And none of this could not have happened without their help. So, I want to sincerely thank them. To give you a little bit about the Ballinger Creek Park, and that's where we're at. It's located less than 1 mile south of the city of Frederick along Route 351, Ballinger Creek. This 134-acre park has been owned by Frederick County since 1982 and contains several amenities, picnics, shelters, a dog park, community gardens, community building, ball fields, soccer fields, multi-purpose fields, nature trail, and play equipment. This synthetic turf multi-purpose field has the capability of hosting sporting events such as football, soccer, lacrosse, and field hockey. The fiber used for this field is engineered to provide incredible durability and longevity. In addition, the 3-layered infield system has been designed to provide unparalleled player safety and designed for turf drainage. In addition to the synthetic turf field, this project includes the installation of the the fencing around the field, the lighting, the press box, scoreboard, security cameras, walkway, parking lot expansion, using previous asphalt and all associated utilities to support field operations. This project was designed by Human and Road Incorporated and constructed by Field Turf USA. The approximate cost of the field construction for this project, $2.3 million. And we expect to get a lot of use out of this field. So before I turn it over, I know I'm going to get to introduce our celebrity in a little bit. But, you know, this field did not have a name. It was just going to be Synthetic Turf Field 1. It's a long time coming. There's a lot of counties that have the synthetic turf fields. We were late in opening our fields this year due to the weather. You would not have to worry about this with this complex here. Quite frankly, I read the Frederick News Post. There was a great article, I'm sure all you all read it, about there's a strong movement afloat to get Chuck inducted into the Hall of Fame for the NFL. Absolutely. And this is just the first step. Hopefully Frederick County and all you here can nudge it along. Quite frankly then, I talked to Bill, who him and I served together, and he's the godfather of my son JR, and said, you know, it's a shame after reading that article that I can't find anything anywhere that even lets us know that Chuck Foreman was from here. I said, that's just crazy. You know, if we don't take pride in our history, if we don't know where we've been, how are we going to know where we're going? And we just had the same opportunity and privilege about naming the Bourne building over at Montague. And then I called the director of Public Works, the director of Public Works and the director of Recreation to find out what the procedure would be. In working with the Parks and Rec board, unfortunately, they didn't meet in time for us to meet. And then ask them to recommend it and come back to us. So we kind of had to do things out of the ordinary. But I couldn't find anyone that would object to this. I mean, we're going to get into it when I introduce him. When you think about what he's contributed to the NFL, the college football, the high school athletics. So I thought it was just unbelievable, and I said, you know what? Chuck Foreman Field's got to be better than Synthetic Turf Field 1. So we're going to get into that a little bit, but I just want to let folks know that, you know, God has a plan. And whatever it was, I read the paper that day, and things just started unrolling, and I turned to the commissioners, and everyone just thought it was a good idea. So here we are today to honor a Frederictonian, a hometown hero, a national hero that revolutionized the position of running back. And that's what he really did. So what I'll do at this point is I'd like to ask the chairman of the Parks and Rec Commission to come forward. Harry Lashley, the chair, if you could please come forward for a few remarks. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Mr. Young.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. On this, the last day of summer, the Frederick County Board of Commissioners and the Division of Parks and Recreation welcome you to the grand opening of the first synthetic turf athletic field in the Frederick County Park System. I'd like to take a moment to introduce a few members of the Park and Rec Commission who are here with us today and ask them to just acknowledge that they're here. First, we have Marianne Brody-Innes, and we have Jamie Rose who are here. Thank you for being here tonight. Today, we honor a man whose career in football started on the fields of Frederick County, a standout in football, basketball, and track at Frederick High School, who went on to be the NFL Rookie of the Year, 5-time Pro Bowler, and 4-time All-Pro while playing for the Minnesota Vikings and the New England Patriots for 8 years. And hopefully, like Mr. Young said, hopefully very soon, a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Chuck Foreman, this is your field. This is a small way for your community to give back to you for all that you have done for so many in this community, and we thank you. Now, Mr. Foreman, I have to admit to you that I was not a Vikings fan growing up. I was, in fact, a Dallas Cowboy fan. December 28th, 1975, NFL playoff game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings had Chuck Foreman with 56 rushing yards on 18 attempts with 1 TD and 42 yards receiving on 4 catches. The Vikings were just a few minutes away from yet another Super Bowl. I was a 12-year-old watching that game, watching my beloved Cowboys about to lose to the Purple People Eaters again. I couldn't take the pressure and ran out of the house crying. So yes, I did in fact miss the Hail Mary pass by Roger Staubach to Drew Pearson. Now I have one question for Mr. Foreman, and I just read this and I want to verify it. Did Drew Pearson really admit to you that he committed offensive pass interference on that play a few years later? He did. Oh, defensive pass interference, he did. Well, now we know the truth of what, offensive, yes. So now we know what really happened on that day. Yes. Today, on this day for you, Mr. Chuck Foreman, we were all Vikings fans, and we were all bleeding purple for you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chuck Foreman Field. Let's play some football.
And now I want to introduce our Director of Parks and Recreation, Mr. Paul Dial.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you all for being here this evening. We at Parks and Recreation are very excited about this. I remember when Commissioner Young asked us what we felt about having a synthetic turf field, and we were very excited at the opportunity. It's been some difficult years with the economy and being able to do this. We were just very excited, and I know the staff has put a lot of effort into today. I want to first say to Mr. Lashley, with the Parks and Recreation Commission, for folks that don't know, we have a 10-member board of the Parks and Recreation Commission. Actually, Brad Young is our Board of Education liaison as well with us, and we really need that volunteer effort and the support that they give and the guidance that they give to us. So we appreciate what they do to support the Division of Parks and Recreation. I also want to mention my boss. I know she was mentioned before, Lori Deppies, but she's given the support for us to do things like this and to give us the tools and to work together with these. So we appreciate those efforts. The other folks I needed to speak to this evening is this Parks and Rec, we kind of get the glory, and I'm up here now because we have the field and all these folks that we have are planning to have great activities here, but it couldn't have happened without the detail of the construction that's done by the Division of Public Works. And Chuck Knipe, the director, is back there at the bleachers. Beside him is Sue Barthol. And raise your hand, Sue, as well. There she is. And Brett Fouché is over here. I see sitting on the side over here with us as well. And Brad Fisher, I don't know if he is. There's Brad. So these are the folks that really were here day to day for 9 months, 10 months, making sure this project went through. So we really appreciate all of their efforts. On the design team, I do want to note again, with Human and Rohde, there's actually two folks, John Rohde, that is right here, and they've done several park designs for us, a very capable firm, and Lynette Penny as well, who does all the meticulous work on the drawings to make sure that it's done correctly. So thank you all for the job you all did. And then the construction done this time by Field Turf USA. If you want to know if you want to have this at home, this is called Field Turf USA. And Jeff Yost is with us back here with this company. And they did this project about as seamlessly and simply as any that we've had in a long time. So we appreciate all the efforts of their company as a general contractor. And last but not least to me, all the folks with the blue shirts, wave your hands if you would a second. This is Parks and Rec staff and yellow shirts as well, our part-time staff. I couldn't have better people to work with, and we're dedicated staff, and they want to be here to make sure this place is a success. The commissioners have given us the tools. We have to take it forward there. I will mention that there is a fee for this field, which we haven't had for other fields, but we have to have revenue coming back to help cover our costs. We are doing about 3 weeks of what we'll say open house, where athletic groups are going to be coming in and getting a taste of this, and hopefully they're going to like that. And we also have a lot of groups already planning to book as of, I believe, the 12th of October is when it goes to totally on a rental basis from there on and into next year. So we've got a lot of groups very excited about it, and we're excited about it. We appreciate the county commissioners giving us the tools and this opportunity. So enjoy this evening. We'll talk a bit about other activities, but come back and see us again here at this park and other parks. Thank you. And I will turn it over this time to Mr. Chuck Montre. Chuck is the Executive Director of the Maryland Recreation and Parks Association. Our staff are members of that, and it's several hundred professionals across the state. Mr. Montre.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for inviting me. I've known Paul for a long time, and Paul has been a real steward and a real advocate for our state funding for parks and recreation development in the state of Maryland, which is called Program Open Space, and is actually the funding source that actually purchased this property many decades ago and allowed us to continue to build on that and create these wonderful facilities. 70% of the disease in this country is preventable, and it's preventable with lifestyle change. And we all know what we're talking about. Diet and exercise are the two big ones. So this field is really the solution, isn't it? This field and the opportunities that this field will provide will keep our youth growing up strong and healthy, and I'm sure there's going to be a few adult teams on this field as well. I also applaud the entrepreneurial effort. We won't be able to continue to provide these high-quality fields unless there are fees attached to them. As you know, this is very expensive to build, and that's a really important part of making this type of operation work. So I commend Prince George's County. Prince George's. That's another speech. I commend Frederick County for moving ahead with this. These fields are expensive, and this is a very difficult decision to make for elected officials. And I think you will. This is your first one, so you're learning with this one. But you will find that this field is just going to be very, very powerful, and everybody is going to want to get on here, and there's going to be so much better ball playing occurring at this. So we have a new slogan in our business, and it's called Parks and Recreation, Truly Affordable Health Care. Thank you.
All right, now for what everyone's waiting for. But I do want to point out is, yeah, we do have to charge fees to make a facility like this sustainable. I want to point out that, believe me, I respect pennies, nickels, and dimes. But I feel that we've tried to make this facility affordable. For the youth, it's $60 an hour. So I don't think that's too out of the range where we can allow everyone to get utilization of it. Now, lights, it would take about $100 an hour. Adult, there's a different price. With adult with lights, it's about $150 an hour. So I do feel that we've tried to keep it very, very affordable for all to use. And of course, there's a priority for organizations that are in county. So that's the priority there, the way we set the fee structure. And you know, this is just one, like I said, is kind of everything happened a little bit by accident in terms of building the field, the naming. It all kind of transpired, and this was something that wasn't even on the radar screen. And we wanted to do something to enhance our Parks and Rec department. They have taken a beating during the economy. Obviously, people start worrying about education, roads, public safety, and things of that nature. But I can guarantee you that this field, as with our other amenities that we have in our Parks and Rec department, are going to be used a lot. I do apologize. I introduced all the elected officials and forgot my brother, Brad Young, who's an elected member of the Board of Education. He just couldn't afford a tie tonight. Actually, he's probably coaching softball, I bet, over Hood College. He's very active in coaching. So our next speaker was born on October 26, 1950 in Frederick, Maryland. He graduated from Frederick High School in 1969, where he excelled at football, basketball, track and field. He then attended the University of Miami from 1969 to 1972, where he played defensive back, wide receiver, and running back. 1970, he had 196 yards rushing, 103 yards receiving. 1971, the year I was born, he had 951 yards with 10 touchdowns and 72 yards receiving. I'm allowed to ad-lib a little bit. 1972, he had 484 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns and 557 yards receiving with 3 touchdowns. And I was reminded by my younger son, who both have football practice tonight and couldn't be here, that on those video games, University of Miami, you can pick the best players ever, and he can actually be Chuck Foreman on that video game. Then he was drafted by the Minnesota Vikings in 1973 as a running back. He was National Football Conference NFC Rookie of the Year in 1973. He was the NFC Player of the Year by the Sporting News in 1974. The NFC Player of the Year by United Press UPI in 1976, named All-Pro in 75 and played 5 consecutive Pro Bowls, 73 through 77. 3 consecutive seasons rushing for 1,000 yards or more from 75 to 77. Played in 3 Super Bowls with the Minnesota Vikings. He then moved on to the New England Patriots in 1980 and then retired from the NFL the same year. Some of the NFL career statistics and why he should be in the Hall of Fame. Rushing, 5,950 yards with 53 touchdowns. Pass receptions, 350 for 3,156 yards, 23 touchdowns. He received the Community Service Award in 2005 by the College Football Hall of Fame. He was inducted in the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor in 2007. And donning number 44, known as the Spin Doctor, Walter Eugene Chuck Foreman, number 1 in your hearts and playbooks. Mr. Chuck Foreman, welcome to the Chuck Foreman Field. It's your field, buddy.
Thank you, man, brother. Thank you. Well, you know, when Bill Hall called me, when was that, about 6, I don't know how long ago, he says, Chuck, how'd you like to have a street named after you? Now, it's turned into a park, but anyway, let me get to this. So, anyway, and then I get the calls, and I'm thinking, first of all, I'm overwhelmed. I really don't even have the words in my heart to tell you, other than the fact that I can't seem to find the right word to tell you how appreciative I am and how big an honor this is. Because it's the biggest thing that's ever happened to me. And I've had a lot of great experiences. And I've spent all these weeks wondering what I was going to say when I got here. I have. And the words, they came, they left. Could I say this? Should I say that? Who am I going to miss out on? Am I going to do this? But I'm going to just tell you this. It's this way. From the bottom of my heart, this is the greatest honor that I've ever received. My hometown, Frederick, Maryland, honoring me, Chuck Foreman, from 126 West Dall St. Street. You know? But 126 West Dall St. Street. And I said to myself, now, Mom, you know, you brought me into the world, you and Dad, and my brothers, my sister Shelly, Butchie, Grease has passed on. But I got to tell you, I didn't do this by myself, you know, not at all. There was a great neighborhood that I grew up in. In those days, if you did something, you see, anybody could spank you. Of course, you can't do that now. And the discipline that we got from the entire neighborhood, the support we got from the entire neighborhood, everything. And then going over to Malnix Park, when I was in the 7th grade, playing basketball against people you may not know, but I'm going to tell you, people in my neighborhood will know, the Harrison Middletons, the David Allens, that threw me up against the fence, but I got up and came back. But and all the people that I had the opportunity to grow up with, every one of you. Yeah, we got in fights sometimes, but we made up, and then if you came down that street, then you had to take us all on. But that was the beauty of growing up here. And I thought about, and I reminisced about all the things, you know, we didn't have a lot of money or anything like that, but the trips to Hershey Park, Pennsylvania on the bus from the community, hanging out with everybody, having the watermelon feast in the park, remember those? Having the great basketball games in the park, probably some of the best basketball players you never heard of, and there's no doubt about that. But with that said, and I am here today being honored like this, and I wish I could say it was me. But I'm telling you, Charlie Ward, you, Larry Thompson, my brothers, all of you, Mike Garner, my teammate, Wilmore Ritchie, my teammate at the University of Miami, and I can't tell you what he used to do because he might have to kill me. But just wonderful, wonderful people, and my mother. You know, you and I have our little issues here and there because I'm just like her, so that's just the way it is, but there's not a better mother in the world. My Uncle Pete, I'm still waiting on my motorcycle in the garage. Now, that man has about 10 cars sitting over there on Middletown, and he won't let anybody else have them. But anyway, what I'm basically saying is I want to thank you, my friends. I'm looking at you with my heart. My sister, I love you. Francis, excuse me, but he don't like to, and my teammates, my Mike Garner, all of you. Linda Whedon, is that you back there? No, well, whatever. Barbara, I know that's you back there. But everybody, I don't want to say names because I'll probably miss out. But all I'm saying to you is this. This is my name, but all you in it, you know, when they start to write that name, all your names are in that print because this is your field because you made me who I am today. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that I will represent you, continue to represent you, and I'm just lost for words. This is like, I'm trying not to cry, Shelly, okay, because you know I'm a little emotional, but what I want to say to you is like, this is something that I talk to a lot of guys, and there's a couple guys that I know that I played football with and against that have had similar things happen like this, I think. But I can guarantee you, it's nothing like this. And when I sit down and I think about what's happening here today, tonight, I'm lost for words. The only thing I can say to you is like, I'm here for you. I love you, and thank you so much for all this. Thank you.
All right, we're going to unveil. If I can ask someone to help me assist, get Chuck's mom over here.
Yeah. Oh.
And she would assist. Actually,
Shelley?
before we unveil this together, I'm actually going to change the program. I'm going to give Chuck's mom an opportunity to say whatever she'd like. It's called equal opportunity.
I know this is a big honor for not only Chuck, but for the family too. As a matter of fact, I had the occasion to be at this park early May when part of our family, the Foreman Delauter family, had our family reunion out here. And I made reference to the fact at that time what a wonderful park this was. I had never been out this far on Bouncer Creek since for many, many years when I sit down to Miss Peetsy Zinnemann's with my mother, who had a farm further down the road. So I guess I'm really telling my age, but I don't care. But I want everybody to know I'm 86 years old. I'm very grateful. I am so grateful and truly, truly blessed because I've had so many nice people to come in my life through the years. And that I really, really mean. And you all know who you are. But I got to tell you a little something about my son and I had oftentimes said that I was going to write a book. Believe you me, I have a lot to write about. Yeah. But this particular incident I would like to share with everybody. I worked for General Services Administration at that time, the Energy Commission. And it wasn't a job that I liked, but I stayed there on that job because I wanted to help my husband to make things better for raising our children so that they would have all the necessary things that they needed to attend school. And this job, I went to work and I worked at night. Now, of course, I had the 3 boys and Shelly. For me. And Shelly's guardian at that time was a German police dog by the name of Prince. And I felt very self-assured with Prince there with her because people used to walk in the middle of the street when they got to our house. But now about Chuck. So we all had chores. Dad worked at Peter Pan Inn in the evenings after he left Fort Dearborn. And so one day, as I was leaving and Gloria was out there waiting for me in the car, Chuck was coming in the door and I was going out. And I said, Chucky, don't forget, this is your week to take care of the dishes in the kitchen, straighten the kitchen up after homework, I'm not. I said to myself, and did you say? Well, I couldn't keep Gloria waiting because, bless her heart, she was sitting there waiting for me. And I couldn't even feel the tires turning, going down 270. I was so mad. I was so mad. I said, here I am, going to work, cleaning up offices at nighttime. Well, this little dude, he's telling me he's not going to clean up the kitchen. I'm not going to tell you what I said, but I said it. So anyway, I went to work, got on the phone as usual. The telephone men were very nice. They let me use their facility back there to call home to check on my family, and which I did. And so the next morning when I got up, because we got home, I think it was something like 2:30 in the morning, and then we sometimes we'd go uptown to one of the restaurants, Bluebird or somebody, and get a cup of coffee before going home. But that morning I made up my mind. I said, this is it. He's not going to talk to me, not to me like that. So I got up and I went over in the room. He and Francis, Mr. Butch, shared, and their twin did. And I said, good morning, everybody. And they said, good morning, Mom. And I got over close to Chucky. I said, Lord, this is it. I need your help. And what did I do? Sitting on the end of the bed, he was tying his shoes up. Gave me the good opportunity that and when he wanted to raise up, so did. No, this is my show. So he tumbled back over the bed, his feet went up in the air. Poor Butchie's eyes got so big. He said, Mom, what's wrong with you? I said, nothing, honey. What's wrong with me? But it taught you a lesson, didn't it?
Okay. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news lately. But is there a policeman in the house? I'm gonna have you arrested right now. That's abuse. No, really, that did happen, and I did say some things to my mother that morning. But I will tell you this: the discipline thing, I never said another thing. That's true. But I want to thank the commissioners too. I didn't thank you guys for all you do and everything. Mom, you are the most wonderful woman in the world. And a lot of my friends, my mother had a lot of kids, and I want to thank all you people of the Parks and Recreation. This is absolutely wonderful. And as I said, Mom, I'm going to let them have the show. I love it, okay?
Wow. Who else would like to hear another story?
There's a lot of
Let's
them.
help. Can you help me here there, Chuck and Mrs. Foreman? Just want to grab that there.
Yeah.
Now this is temporary until you sign off on it. Then it'll be the bronze plaque.
Whoa.
There he goes. This will be mounted. Like I said, once you sign off on it, it'll say Chuck Foreman Field, dedicated to Walter Eugene Chuck Foreman, September 22nd, 2014. Frederick High School alumnus Chuck Foreman excelled at track, basketball, and football. He played defensive back, wide receiver, and running back positions for the University of Miami Hurricanes before being drafted by the Minnesota Vikings in 1973. Foreman, who retired from the NFL in 1980, was a running back with a graceful, elusive style that earned him the nickname the Spin Doctor. And honors include Rookie of the Year, two-time NFC Player of the Year, and 5 consecutive Pro Bowl appearances. And of course, it's all the county stuff with us as the Board of County Commissioners.
Absolutely.
This is just one of 2.
Oh, okay.
This will be the bronze plaque here. And then if we go over here, if you can assist. This is also going to make sure that every child An adult comes here and knows exactly who Chuck Foreman is, except we hope to revise this one day. This has Walter Eugene Chuck Foreman, with a picture of you of Minnesota Vikings carrying the ball, number 44. Frederick High School logo, University Hurricanes, Miami Hurricanes, and the Minnesota Vikings. Says born October 22nd, 1950, place of birth, Frederick County, Maryland. Graduated from Frederick High School in 1969. Attended the University of Miami from 1969 to 1972, where he played defensive back, wide receiver, and running back. 1970, 196 yards rushing and 103 yards receiving. 1971, 951 yards rushing with 10 touchdowns and 72 yards receiving. 1972, 484 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns and 557 yards receiving with 3 touchdowns. Drafted by the Minnesota Vikings in 1973 as a running back, National Football Conference NFC Rookie of the Year in 1973. NFC Player of the Year by the Sporting News in 1974. NFC Player of the Year by UPI in 1976. Named All-Pro in 75 and played 5 consecutive Pro Bowls, 73 through 77. 3 consecutive rushing years, 1,000 plus yards from 75 to 77. Played in 3 Super Bowls with the Minnesota Vikings. Then went on to play the New England Patriots, where he retired. NFL career statistics: rushing yards 5,950 with 53 touchdowns, pass receptions 350 with 3,156 yards and 23 touchdowns. Known as the Spin Doctor for his elusive way of avoiding would-be tacklers, Community Service Award in 2005 by College Football Hall of Fame, inducted the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor in 2007. We will make this permanent, but we hope to update it one day with what? Hall of Fame! Hall of Fame! Thank you. So there you go. And now, we'll throw out the first pass before we cut the ribbon.
Okay.
If I get one of the kids to come down.
Okay, okay.
He had an option here to throw or catch. He picked throw.
Well, I don't know if I can throw.
So if we
Come
get
on
a
over here,
receiver.
fellas. Let me see what you can do. Okay, how about if I hand off to him?
Whatever you like to do, it's your field.
All right, you ready? Let's see if you can catch. All
There
right.
you go. Round of applause. There it is. First pass. Give him another one. Give each kid.
All right.
There you go.
All right, so
There you go.
Lefty.
thank you guys. Hey, come on over and take a picture together. All right.
Yep.
Might be the next Super Bowl guy.
Yep. Again. Chuck, if you want to get in the middle here, we're going to cut the ribbon.
Okay.
This is your field.
Okay.
It's called the Chuck Foreman Field. So we would invite anyone that would like to participate in the ribbon cutting. The family, anybody wearing the 44 purple, please come join us. This is your field, so please come up and join us in the ribbon cutting here. Everybody get their, everybody open up your scissors and get it around the ribbon. Ready? Right there. There you go. All right, everybody get the picture.
All cut? Or do we-
Well, count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, thank you all for coming. That concludes our program. Please come on out, walk around the field, stick around, get autographed by Chuck Foreman and Laura Fixer. Thank you very much. Oh, I tell you, this field here is incredible. It's going to be a year-round facility for our youth and our adults that participate in various sports leagues, whether it's soccer, football, lacrosse, you name it. So this is a great amenity, a great new asset to our Parks and Rec program, and at very affordable fees for the youth, $60 an hour without lights.
I think it's a beautiful field, obviously well done. Looks like it's going to drain very well, so we get bad weather. I think it's going to be a very very good multi-purpose field. So I think I'm very happy with what I'm seeing.
I'm glad we could have a field like this in Frederick County. It's a long time coming. I've been to many different counties across the state for youth sports. Some places have 5 or 6 of these, and they're just full all day and all night. So it's a great opportunity for the citizens to have such a great facility right here at home.
This is a beautiful facility, and it's going to be a great benefit for the county. If you know anything about football fields, you know that a good football field can only take use once a week. This turf field can be used multiple times a day, every day of the week, so it'll get a lot of use. It's a beautiful facility.
It's going to benefit the citizens in multiple ways. Obviously, we all need to exercise more, including myself. But this facility is a year-round facility. As you see movement afloat to have synthetic turf on our high school fields, many counties in our state have synthetic turf fields. This is just one of what I project will be probably 5, 6, 7 in the next decade here in Frederick County. There's a much-needed need for field space, especially field space that is durable, that can take a lot of use.
Well, I mean, it's going to give them a lot of options. You know, to come in and play. Like, say, if you have storms or bad weather, where other fields where they couldn't play, you'll be able to play on this field almost immediately right after that. So it's going to give you know, a feel of maybe like a college level where somebody wants to excel and go beyond the high school level. You're going to have that experience of playing on a turf field, which is a little bit different than a grass field.
I think this field will benefit the residents of Frederick County by being able to play not based on weather. You know, sometimes you have some flooding or some rain or snow and you can't play for days. This thing, you'll be able to play within hours. So it's truly amazing.
This will make a lot of games possible for the kids. I've coached sports, baseball, and not too much football, but whenever it rains, the games are canceled and sometimes for weeks, and it really it really messes up the football fields. But this one could be playable even in the rain, so there'll be, you know, maybe 4 or 5 times as much usage of this field than another field. So this is going to be a great opportunity for our youth in the county.
What I like best about it is the name, Chuck Foreman Field. Chuck Foreman is one of our most outstanding athletes to ever come from Frederick County, if not the most outstanding athlete to come from Frederick County. The other option was Synthetic Turf Field 1. And it was great to see this field named Chuck Foreman Field and to see him here to dedicate it. It's great to see so many people here tonight to enjoy this field, especially the kids.
It was named after Chuck Foreman. I mean, I've been a fan of the Minnesota Vikings, and that's actually why I was a fan of the Minnesota Vikings when I saw him as a youth, and how good he was on the football field, and what a class act he was on the football field. And he was from Frederick County, and that's how I really started being a fan of the Minnesota Vikings. So, really, you know, the name and just the whole atmosphere is great.
What I like best about this new facility, it's right on the edge of Frederick City, so it's easy access from the highway. City residents can use it, county residents can use it, and of course, our hometown boys and girls right here from Frederick County have first priority.
This facility will be used at night. It can be used during the day. It's got soccer field markings, lacrosse markings, probably field hockey. It's certainly got soccer as well. So it's a very versatile field. It will be durable. It's just a wonderful facility, and my guess is it will be the first of many in Frederick County. I graduated in 1969 from Wheaton High School. The same year, Chuck graduated from Frederick High School. So our schools scrimmaged. I don't remember scrimmaging him, but I think we did one year. And so I watched his career. Chuck was a great athlete. He could jump over people. He was very agile, and it was great watching him through the years. So this is a great credit to the county to have a field named after him, and a great credit to him. It was a wonderful statement by him today. He was very touched, and that was just great to see.
Yeah, I just want to send out a congratulations to Chuck Foreman, the hometown boy, grew up right downtown on All Saints Street, made it big in University of Miami and the Minnesota Vikings, wearing a Super Bowl ring. Couldn't be prouder of anyone from Frederick than you, man. Congratulations.